Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen I want to show you how to make picadillo, which is a Cuban ground beef dish. I want to call it a ragu or a stew or a hash, whatever you want to call it. It's phenomenal. It's so easy and simple to make, and it's really good around this time of year because I feel like it's really comforting over a bowl of rice. It's good any time of year, but I want to share it with you today. If you hear a little tiny mouse in the background, it's because Mia is sitting off to the side, eating a snack in her high chair, watching her mama do her thing because she woke up from her nap early. So here we are. Let me run you through the list of ingredients because it's not very big, but they're all the right ones. You need some ground beef. Mine is really lean, but whatever ground beef you use is fine. Diced tomatoes in sauce. I've got, this is a little more tomato sauce. I've got onions, green bell peppers, and garlic all chopped up. I've got some raisins, some dark raisins. I've got some adobo seasoning here, and I've got some ground cumin. And I've got some olives here. These are pimento stuffed olives that I've just chopped up and a little bit of the brine. I've got a little olive oil and some pepper. Now, I'm not adding any salt because the adobo seasoning is very salty. So, and to me, that ingredient is like crucial here. So, do what you want, but I say you use it. What I have here is a shallow Dutch oven, and I've got a little bit of olive oil in here because, as I mentioned, my ground beef is really lean. So now I'm going to add the beef to the pot that's been preheating, and I'm going to break it up, and I'm going to just let that cook until it's got, obviously cooked through just about and develop some color. Beef looks good. You just want to make sure you break it apart as much as you can with your wooden spoon or a spatula of choice. I'm just kind of pushing it all to one side, and because my beef is really lean, it's not going to add a lot of fat to my pan, but I need some fat to saute my veg. So I'm going to add a little, I hear you. I'm going to add a little more olive oil to this side, and I'm going to add the onions, green bell pepper, and garlic. And I know what you're saying, green bell pepper, and yes, you're thinking I've lost my mind because you know I'm not a real fan of green, but I'm not a fan of green bell pepper when I want sweetness from a pepper, when I want that intense peppery goodness. But when I want, for me anyway, mainly just the scent of pepper and the flavor of a jalapeno / poblano with no heat, then I go with the green, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to babysit this. I want the veggies to start cooking down, and then what I'm going to do is, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to unite the beef and the peppers, and then just let those saute together until the onions and peppers have softened. I know you're excited. I am too. All right, this looks great. So at this point, I'm going to add everything else back in. I'm going to add the tomatoes with the sauce, the raisins, which you can omit and just use a little bit of sugar if you want, but I really like the sweetness from the raisins. I like to keep the raisins in. Bless you! And then my seasoning, and then the olives with the little bit of brine from the jar. That's good flavor. And then I am just going to add a little bit of black pepper. Give that all a stir. I'm going to cover this, set the heat to about medium-low to low, and let it simmer for about a half an hour. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's right where I want it. All right, so this has been simmering for 30 minutes covered. I'm just going to turn it off. Look who's here. Say hi. Say, this is my mama.
Mama.
Oh, my baby. I know you can't play with that. I know you want to play. Here, what if mama gives you that? Anyway, cute interruptions. We will allow it. Anyway, this has been simmering for 30 minutes. I've tasted it. It's perfect. Does not need any more seasoning, but do adjust the salt or the adobo seasoning according to taste, obviously. Hey, that's my rice. Now, I've got some rice here. I'm going to serve this over rice. I'm just going to do a little bit for myself now. Excuse me, Missy. You can see it's really nice and thick. It's really kind of gorgeous. And now when I serve this for dinner, I'm going to put some cilantro on top, and it's going to be delicious. But I did want to mention something. I want to mention that I added about a half a cup of water to the mixture when I added the tomatoes and everything else. Excuse me, but this is my plate. Just make sure that the canned chopped tomatoes you buy are actually in tomato sauce and not just in a little bit of juice. Otherwise, you need to add an additional 4 ounces of tomato sauce because... Oh, want Mama to taste, or do you want you want to taste some rice? I know you don't want to. You want to play with the fork. Mama's gonna try. Okay, look. Hot dog. How about we try a little bit of rice? I know you don't want to. Oh, here you do. She's a funny one. Anyway, if your tomatoes are not in sauce, then add a little bit of tomato sauce just to add more tomato mixture to the beef. You are a freshie pants this morning. She does not sit still. She's at the age now where nothing is safe. Neither is my pepper shaker, or my pepper grinder, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, let it simmer. It's delicious. It's slightly briny. It's a little bit sweet from the raisins. It's really delicious, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, and it's quick. All right, go ahead. You feed yourself. We are very independent. Independent woman here. Don't tell her what to do. Give it to Mama. Feed Mama. Thank you. Anyway, LauraInTheKitchen.com has the written recipe for you. Hope you don't mind this little interruption. I don't think you do. I think you quite enjoyed it. All right, say bye-bye to friends. Mama has to eat. No. Say bye, friends. Bye. Can you say bye-bye? She hasn't gotten the concept of the camera, but we'll get her used to it. Bye, guys. Mama will try some.